Speaking before being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, Gary Payton told the Springfield, Massachusetts Republican that there are really only 3 true point guards in the NBA today: Chris Paul, Rondo, and Tony Parker. Stephen A., our expert, is Gary Payton right?
No, he is not. First of all, let me congratulate Gary Payton. Well deserved. He is a Hall of Famer. Love him as a player, love him as a person. Wish him good luck in his new job on the other network, no doubt. But I disagree with him here. Not to say that those 3 aren't point guards and aren't elite point guards, because they are. But I'd add Darren Williams of the Brooklyn Nets to that list. I certainly would add Derrick Rose to that list. I would add Kyrie Irving to that list, who I think is going to be in the top 3 within the next couple of years, if not sooner. Okay, I like Drew Holiday, who was traded from the Sixers to the I can't believe I'm saying the Pelicans, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I look at Drew Holiday. Look, the kid's got potential, and I think he can play the point guard spot. I'm just looking at some of these guys down here. I'm looking at a Ty Lawson. That's a point guard. I like Ty Lawson. He can play. I like him a lot. I'm just going down the list here, Skip. There's a few point guards up in here. There's no doubt in my mind. But those names come to mind, and that's like 8 off the top. So I definitely disagree with Gary Payton on that.
I want to congratulate Gary Payton for saying exactly what I've been saying on this show and trying to convince you of for the last however many years I have known you. Most of these kids in the NBA are 2 guards masquerading as point guards. I agree on Rondo. I agree on CP3. There are nights, Stephen A., I don't even agree that Tony Parker is what I would call a pure point guard, because they rely on him too much to score the basketball. I think we still have to put Steve Nash in this list somewhere, because he's on his last legs, but he still belongs on the list. And I'm going to throw LeBron James onto my list, because when he decides to play the point, he is pure point. He has the gift of distributing the basketball, passing the basketball, seeing it before it unfolds, the way very few have ever had that gift. So when you throw Derrick Rose, stop it. No, he is not a point guard.
You need to stop.
You need to stop it.
You need to start.
He is a scorer first. Distributing the ball is just an afterthought to him. Oh, yes, sometimes I'm supposed to pass the ball.
An afterthought.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, let me tell you, first of all, let's go down there, because there's a litany of errors in your arguments right there. Number 1.
I got you on
Derrick Rose, please, you'll never have me on basketball. Derrick Rose, number 1. You have to consider the fact that it's who you're playing with, the personnel that you have. He's required to do that. That's point number 1. Point number 2, Kyrie Irving's a point guard. Drew Holiday is a point guard. Point number 3, a little bit hypocritical, and I mean it affectionately, because Gary Payton's my man. I mean it affectionately. Bit hypocritical, because Gary Payton, last time I checked, Gary Payton was averaging 20 a game. I don't see you saying that about him. Gary Payton wasn't no prototypical point. Gary Payton scored. Gary Payton got it done. He was the glove, and he locked you down. No doubt about that. But if it wasn't Sean Kemp scoring, who else did Seattle have to put the ball in the hole? There was Gary Payton with Sean Kemp.
We're not talking about Gary Payton.
I'm just saying, he's the one that said, you stand up there sticking out your chest. Oh, I support. I didn't thank Gary Payton for agreeing with me.
He didn't say that he belongs on the list.
Hold on, wait a minute. That's another point, okay? Now, Magic Johnson. You talk about Magic Johnson. The greatest point guard ever, right? Now let's look at Magic Johnson here. Certainly when you slow the ball up, he threw the ball. Wow, that's difficult. Let me throw it into the post to the all-time scorer, the all-time leading scorer with the most unstoppable move in the sports history, in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Outside of that, yeah, you have Worthy and Byron Scott and these boys, but Magic Johnson, as great as a passer as he was, also could score. And by the way, last but not least, this is where your credibility just goes, it's just gone. It's just out of the mix.
Carrie,
you're the guy on the record. You're the guy on the record, Skip Bayless. You are on the record right here on national television. You question whether or not Isaiah Thomas was a point guard. Was that not true? That's it right there. There's nothing to talk about, Skip. You don't even need to talk basketball anymore. A matter of fact, you are officially, for that statement alone, you still should be banned from talking basketball for a month. There should be a moratorium on you talking basketball. Isaiah Thomas wasn't a point guard? There's only you. Only you can come up with this stuff, Skip. Only you. So don't give me that. I want to hear it.
I know Isaiah was way before your time. Did you ever get to actually see him play?
He did not.
How old are you now? You're 28?
there.
I know you got receding, but aren't you only 29?
You know what? Hey, I'm in my 40s. That still look good. But here's the point. Skip. Let me ask you this question. What did you also imply? I want to put words in your mouth. Did you also imply that John Stockton was better than Isaiah? Was that you?
As a pure point guard, as a distributor, as a quarterback?
Was that you?
Yeah. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Payton said he was harder to guard
Stockton was better than
Jordan.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
I won't go that
Yeah,
far. I don't know how many times
you
Payton
guys
actually guarded Jordan.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith, I know you don't go back this far, but there was this thing called the Showtime Fast Break, led by Magic Johnson with Worthy on one ring and maybe Byron on the other wing.
It was fantastic.
You better look out below, because here comes behind the back, through the legs, no look, bounce pass, boom.
At the form.
That's point guard. Magic could do what Magic had to do. If you need him to score occasionally, he would score. He was pass first. Isaiah was a great two guard. He could light you up. He was capable of going for 40. One of the better underrated shooters in the history of the league.
Allen Iverson was a two guard.
I'm sorry.
Allen Iverson was a two guard. Isaiah Thomas was a point guard, Skip.
Derrick
You had
Rose
Joe
is a
Dumars.
two
You had
guard.
Benny the Microwave Johnson. You
where
had
you
Bill
have lost
Laimbeer.
all
You had
credibility
Sally
here.
with Rodman with James
Derrick
Evans and
Rose
Elwood.
is a
How
point
is
guard?
Isaiah
Are
Thomas
you
not a
kidding
point
me?
guard?
Seriously, is Derrick Rose a point guard to you?
Yes.
You know what? Somebody should lift his credentials
Derrick
and burn them.
Rose
because
can do
you
whatever
should be
Derrick
allowed
Rose
back in an
needs to
NBA
do.
arena after that
He can
stage.
do whatever he needs to do. Derrick Rose runs the show for Chicago. He runs the show.
Yeah, he runs through the brick wall. There are 4 defenders in the lane as he tries to get to the basket time and time again.
Case had more scorers.
Thank you,
Derrick
Gary
Rose would
Payton,
average 10, 11 assists a game.
for closing my case. that
You
I've been
speak
trying
of
to
the
make.
Showtime era. I do remember that era myself. I was a wee bitty baby.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about it on Final Takes. It's time for our rapid fire Q&A with the terrific trio. Former Laker great James Worthy told the LA Daily